And this is the best player on the team, so he's telling him, okay, when you get in the bunker, make sure you get the sand on the green. If you get the sand on the green, the ball will get on the green too. And if you're not a golfer, that's like kind of basic, you know. You try to get the ball close to the hole, but he's telling the #1 player, almost in the nation, to get the sand on the green. So that's the type of coaching we got as far as expert coaching. So it shows one thing: you don't have to be a great player to be a great coach. And then lastly, Alan Yamamoto is my most influential person that taught me golf. He taught me a lot of things more that I never knew, like about the spin of the ball, the rotation, how to control it. And he could do it too, so this is unlike Dave Williams where he couldn't hit the ball, but Alan would tell us, here, do this, and watch the ball spin. He hit the ball, he hit the ground, start spinning counterclockwise. Then he hit it another time, you see it hit the ground, and the ball would be spinning the opposite way. And it's, how do you do that? And he would teach us all these things. And the biggest thing from Alan was, I learned was, I watched him teach other people and how much they enjoyed him giving them tips and how much fun they had. And not so much, you know, if it's technically correct, but just made them feel good and made them feel like they could get better and, you know, just have fun with hitting the golf ball. And those things, all these things I try to do when I teach the youngsters, because I feel they're the ones that mature into these great people like Kavika and Eric and many others that here. I have a lot of students that are 10, 9 that are here, and I thank them for coming, and I think they'll be the leaders like in this kind of setting when they get older, either players or coaches, but those are the coaches. Sorry for being so long, but that's about it.
Wonderful. A big round of applause for David. Thank you, David. You can see from David even now giving back that there is many life lessons that come from not only being a player but then going into being a coach. And every one of you can think of your own lives. And really, if you look at it, every one of us is a coach. We're a coach to our kids. We're a coach to our community, even when we're not on the playing field. The life is really the playing field. And as he said, those lessons he got from all those wonderful coaches are lessons that take him into every day. And if we think of our own lives, we can look at the same way that happens. And now, flying in from the Big Island, from Kauai High School, Greg. Well, really, here is a coach who's coached everything. The basketball, cross-country, softball. Greg was a national winner of the PCA's Double Gold Coach Awards presented by Team Snap for his positive impact on youth athletes. Greg's coaching philosophy stems from his father's lessons in a tradition of the calabash, a bowl for donating coins in for those who need, to give back. He said his dad preached to him to always give back. I may not have the opportunity to give back directly to the coaches that he had, but he feels that if everything he can give back to another young child who's coming up, that's a way of thanking his coaches. So if he can pass on the lessons that he learned from his great coaches, he in that way can give back. Greg's coaching perspective was shaped in part by the loss of his own son. Maka'ale was a promising 16-year-old basketballer who drowned in 2011 in a kayaking accident. Because he was such a good kid and so many people knew him, all his friends then rallied around him to help Greg, to support him. And he recalls that this is what made me want to continue coaching. I tell the kids that when I walk into the gym, this is where Maka is. Each and every one of them is for Greg keeping Maka alive. And he feels like that's where Maka is. And anything that he can pass on, he's doing that for Maka. And he sees that when he can help any kids with their homework, he helps them with everything in their lives. He wants to make them feel that when they're there, Maka is there. And so that makes him really be able to give back through the loss that he's had. Greg, it's wonderful to have you not only here, but to be able to share this story with us. And I'd like to ask you, when you were growing up in youth and high school sports, what was the one thing that your parents did do that now you really appreciate, that makes you appreciate them more? And as parents, you know that often they don't appreciate you right now, but now you can see.
Well, before I get started, I'm from the Big Island. And usually I'm wearing shorts and t-shirts, and I'm actually wearing pants today. And then coach here says dress professionally, and I'm here with Laker-colored socks. So there's a backstory to it. So if you guys want to hear it, see me later. It's kind of fun. I'm trying not to embarrass my mom up here, but I didn't really appreciate it until I got into coaching at Cal. My parents were at every game that I played, whether I started, whether I rode the bench. They were at every sporting event. And at Cal, where our economic situation isn't the greatest, we have parents that work odd hours or work multiple jobs, and they can't make it to the kids' games. And sometimes that's all the kids want to do is see their parents in the stands. And I guess I took that for granted back in the days. And so when these kids come up to me and they say, "Hey coach, I got a volleyball game on Wednesday," or "I got a track meet," I try to take time out of my busy schedule to be there for them, because some of them don't have their parents there. And when they come up to me after and they say, "Hey coach, thanks for coming. Did you see my kill?" Or, you know, I set a PR in the 100. And I'm like, "Yeah, good job, good job." And I think it reinforces what their parents were hoping to be there for. And I think somebody said, like, I try to be like a surrogate parent. And I try to do that. I try to instill life lessons through my coaching, because none of my kids are going to be Division I athletes. Oh, maybe, hopefully one day. But you know, they're all going to be out there in life, and if I can prepare them for that, then I think this world will be a better place. So that's my my life lessons. And thanks, Mom, for always being there. So. Hope I'm not embarrassing him.
I think Greg is one of the people who really live the motto that kids these days, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And it's great to have guys like that in the community. Another guy that we are going to talk about, soccer coach for FC Hawaii, is Mr. Kyle Smith. National finalist for the Double Coach Award for his positive impact on youth athletes. Kyle's a husband, father of 2, and a full-time attorney. In addition to managing his law firm, Kyle plays competitively in adult leagues. He coaches a U12 boys team and assistant coaches his U9 daughters girls team for FC Hawaii. While Kyle coaches to compete, he also understands he wants to build the love for soccer, the love for sports, the love for the team and his teams. He's played at a lot of levels, and the key thing I want my players to learn is that technical excellence and fun are not mutually exclusive, and I think that's something that a lot of times coaches will lose along the way. This is what PCA is really about, and why PCA has been a big part of the teams I'm involved with. The workshops have made me a better coach, a better parent, and something that he asks all the parents involved with FC Hawaii to go to as well. So Kyle, how do you balance competition and fun on the teams that you coach?
I have no idea. I do my best every day, but I'm not always sure that I do. Part of it, there's a saying, I think it's Yogi Berra, that says, you know, it's not the heat, it's the humility, right? And it struck me as funny when I was reading it, and the reason is because it's very hard, and the kids make you very humble every day, and almost every day I come back and I don't know if I'm doing a great job for them, right? I want to, I try my hardest to do it, but I'm not always sure that I do. I woke up this morning And my son and daughter were like, Dad, Mom, why are you guys not taking us to school? And my wife, who's sitting here, who's also coaches both of our children as a collegiate professional athlete, she goes, oh, well, you know, Dad's going to a coaching, you know, award breakfast. My dad, or my son looks at me and goes, why would you be going to that, Dad? You know? So, just like that. So, you know, humility is really important. And I think with the team I coach, the key is, and the secret to our success is that we picked our parents as much as we picked our kids when we put it together, and we made sure that there was that was the focus from the first day. And I've got parents here who coach with me. My assistant coach, who's Sean, right here, he ought to raise his hand, and Jim Jost. At almost every practice, I've got always Sean and usually 4 or 5 other dads or moms who are out there coaching with us and trying to impart, particularly with soccer, it's an interesting sport. I don't want to start any fights in here, but in my mind, it's the greatest sport in the world. And one of the things with soccer is that at a youth level, winning is generally the result of athletic ability applied over a very narrow range of skills. Who can run the fastest? Who can kick the hardest? But as you play more soccer, it's still athletic ability, but it's applied over a wide range of skills that often don't have direct ties to athletic ability. Things like teamwork and all kinds of other minute skills that if you don't learn them early, you will not be able to get them late. It just doesn't work with a game like that where there's so much muscle memory, like golf or other sports, built into it. So that's the real focus of the practices and of our training, I guess, is, hey, don't worry about winning. We lose tons of games because we're trying to play the game the best way we know how. We're trying to play a pretty game. And ultimately, the winning's going to take care of itself. You know, the winning will come or it won't. And that's okay too, but I guarantee every single one of our boys over the course of the practice, and girls who play with us, are better soccer players when they get done. And so I think that's sort of the philosophy, and you know, yeah, I guess that's the main goal. So hopefully we try to do that, but I'm not always sure how. I sure wish I had. I wish I had a list of things of how to do that day in and day out. And I know there's a lot of people in this room with a lot more experience. I'm really humbled to be here, and I very much appreciate you guys just even showing up. I feel a little bit like an imposter, like in a movie where the idiot kind of gets mistaken for the spy, and you show up and people start handing you beautiful leis, and they put you on a podium, and you're with people who are much very impressive. And I just I'm very, very honored. Thank you.
Okay, Kyle. Well, give him a big round of